listening to Deep Dive Divas, episode 058, Damageplan. Please follow us online and review the program using the links in this episode's show notes, you coward.
I'm really loud.
I got you bumped up a little, and I got me bumped down a little. Because usually I have to crank you all the way up to the top in post.
Right, but now I'm like a grown man.
People get louder the more they age. Boy, we're on a little bit of a metal run here. Just coming off of
Mars Volta?
System of a, Mars Volta, System of a Down. Now this. What's the most metal thing you've ever done? Your face is covered in chocolate right now, by the way.
Let me grab a napkin. Most metal thing I've ever done. Mm-hmm. I saw Megadeth with Lamb of God. That's pretty metal. I also used to gnaw on sheet metal and other
To what
copper, bronze, iron.
Raw, unrefined metals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Where are you finding these?
Coal mine. That's where all the metals are, in the coal mines. Can I say my pun now?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Damageplan. Isn't that what Lee Harvey Oswald had?
This is Deep Dive Divas. Each episode, Owen and myself listen to every blessed studio album by a heavy metal band steeped in tragedy and share our findings with you. Damageplan was a heavy metal band coming to you straight out of Dallas, Texas. Pip pip, gents. They had one album, and that album did really well on the Billboard 200, sold over 40,000 records in just a few days. Before we proceed any further, this episode contains a great deal of disturbing descriptions and information. If you are not in a place where you would like to listen to something like that, I would recommend skipping this episode. Listen to one of our other episodes that has upsetting
Listen to
information.
Weird Al.
Yeah. We're going to be listening to Weird Al. A little peek behind the curtain. Owen and I tonight are going on a double date with the members of the Nostalgia podcast to see Weird Al Yankovic in concert.
Purely business. This
It is
podcast.
We're writing it off as a business expense. We're going to be wearing suits and have briefcases there in case any members of the IRS are there and want to audit us.
Right.
Come at us, Internal Revenue Service.
That's what IRS stands for.
Yeah. Did you do your taxes this year?
I live in Delaware, so...
There's still income tax in Delaware.
Yeah, I know.
I know you don't. It's pretty hot in here.
Yeah.
Because I turned the air conditioning off. I'm trying to keep it professional. Although I can hear the spin cycle on my washer going in the basement.
I can hear
right
that as
now.
well.
Oh.
What you washing?
My unmentionables. If you're not in a place where you'd like to listen to something like that, I would recommend skipping this episode. If you are someone who wants to hurt yourself or someone else, please reach out via text or call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. They also have an online chat available on their website if that's better for you. Follow me back, if you will, to the year of 1979 in Lansing, Illinois. Everyone's in bell bottoms and talking about the 3 Mile Island incident and the Iranian hostage crisis.
Yeehaw!
I think it's like right outside of Chicago. The third son of Gerald and Mary Gale is born, one Nathan Miles Gale. We're going to be talking a lot about this Nathan Miles Gale in this episode. Nathan Miles Gale is not, as far as I could tell, a musician of any sort. He had no musical aptitude of
Like
which
Rick
to
Rubin.
speak. Much like Rick Rubin. He also did not pretend to produce other people's records.
I can't, my fingers don't work. I can't touch records. I just give people ideas.
Beautiful.
That's pretty, have you been working on that?
Yeah, I 3 hours every morning.
Yeah. You just sit there, put on a fake beard. Beautiful.
So anyway, we're going to be talking a lot about this Nathan Miles Gale guy again. That's going to be interspersed with the musicians that we're talking about. He is not one of them. So just keep that separate, okay? We're going to be bouncing back and forth. So stick with me. I'm going to be moving fast and loose. I'm a loose cannon. I'm a loose cannon cop. Gerald and Mary split up. They divorce.
I thought they were married.
They were married, but then they stopped being married and they divorce.
You can't do that.
It's a sin. So, as I had said, I think, very sidetracked this episode. I'm so excited to see Weird Al Yankovic. Nathan is the third son, the youngest son of Gerald and Mary, who again split up. And Nathan's two older brothers decide to remain in Chicago with their father, whereas Nathan decides to move to Marysville, Ohio with his mom.
This too quick.
And we're back. We've essentially not talked about the band, but let's just get this off.
Yeah, get this out of the way.
Let's get this out of the way.
Our movie this week is
this month for August 1st
was the
talk. It kind of makes that noise, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Dog. It's like a Pokemon saying its own name.
Yeah.
Dog.
Right.
Dog. Wearing a little top hat.
Right.
I think Pokemon wear hats.
Cute. And apparently
in the original 150, do any Pokemon wear hats? Not all heroes wear capes, but do any Pokemon wear hats?
I know the Babadook is apparently a gay icon.
Is it?
What I've read.
Is he?
I think
Are they?
There was a meme going around that they put on Netflix. Love Netflix, by the way. They put the Babadook in like the LGBTQ plus section by accident.
Heck
So
yeah.
then there are whole memes. You know?
Heck yeah. Well, it's Australian.
Yeah.
So I think
right.
it's inherently a little queer coded.
Right. I will give a little synopsis.
That was not okay. To be clear, that was absolutely nothing against the LGBTQIA plus community.
Right.
But it
That
was
was against
everything against the
Australians.
Australians.
Right. Little synopsis here. Skip forward if you don't want any small spoilers.
I think this movie's
It's like
10 years old.
Yeah.
So just to pull back the curtain a little bit and let everyone know, I was a little scaredy baby pretty much my whole life, and I didn't think I could handle horror movies until two of my best friends in the whole world who tune into this program, Dan and Alyssa, who have both been guests on this program, talking about Prince, talking about Built to Spill, talking about Madonna, talking about MGMT with us. We love them. We stan them. We ship them. I hope they end up together.
Right.
And they were like, stop being a dumb baby and watch this really good movie. You'll like these movies. They have very good stories, and they're just a little scary. And the first horror movie I really watched was the Babadook. Let the Babas hit the floor.
Right.
And I loved it. I loved this movie, even though it's Australian. I'm trying not to hold that against it, but I did love this movie.
This and Men at Work were the two things.
Love that sign. It's one of my favorite signs to see on the street. You got
Right.
Stop is the best.
Oh. Yield.
Yield's good because it's almost like stop.
Yeah.
It's like, come
It's
close
like-
to stopping,
It's kind of teasing you. It's like, stop, just
but
kidding.
stop light.
Anyway,
Yield.
the synopsis for the Babadook, skip forward if you don't want any little spoilers. Yeah, to explain the movie quickly, a single mother named Amelia, played by Essie Davis, who had a great performance.
Australian though.
Right.
That's good. She's going to lose some points on that one.
Has a young son named Samuel, let's just say he's a handful, right? He starts to describe to her that his nightmares contain a creepy monster who just desires to kill him and Amelia, his mother. The storybook then comes to their house titled The Babadook, and Samuel will be like, I think that's the monster. Samuel starts spiraling kind of out of control more and more, and that's when Amelia starts believing this thing just might be real. She also chokes a dog in this movie, and spoilers, the Babadook ends up just kind of crashing in the basement.
Yeah, it's his dead dad.
Yeah.
The Babadook
Symbolism.
is really the friends we made along the way.
Right. I think the scariest part of this movie is being a single mother.
Yeah. And being Australian.
Being Australian, right?
With a nosy neighbor.
Right.
Is there a better analogy for hell?
I like this movie. I listened to the Damageplan album right after watching this.
Whoa, okay. That's a night.
Yeah.
That's a night. Did you have a Dr. Pepper to cap it off? Okay.
But I was drinking water.
So. Similar.
Yeah, right.
You know what both comes from Texas?
What?
Dr. Pepper and...
The Babadook.
And the Babadook.
Right. Yeah, I like this movie. It was scary. I shouldn't have watched it by myself.
Babadook, dook.
Right.
Join us next month for Back to School as we watch The Dead Poets Society. And we're back. Jesus Christ, this show sucks. Should we put in the musical guest now at this point too?
Yeah, might as well.
I truly can't believe we're doing this right now, but each episode we like to highlight the up-and-coming work of a discography developing diva. Today that is Madeline Mars. Madeline Mars is a singer and songwriter out of South New Jersey. I truly love this song that I'm about to play for you. It has made me sob incessantly. I'm sobbing now. Single tears running down my face. It is now time to celebrate good times. Come on, with Madeline Mars and her track, Sundress. You can hear more from Madeline Mars. Listen to a playlist of our favorite Damageplan songs. Visit our shop and social media pages. Contact us, view our citations, and so much more by using the links in this episode's show notes, babe. So again, Gerald and Mary, if you are still listening, A, congratulations, and B, thank you for your resilience. You deserve a Congressional Medal of Honor.
Dude, he feeds me mousse. He feeds me chocolate mousse.
Owen is
I'm having a good time.
knuckle deep in this chocolate mousse right now.
I'm psyched for Weird Hal, man. Right.
So Gerald and Mary split up, divorce. Nathan goes to live with his mummy in Marysville, Ohio. A little conceited that Mary's moving to Marysville, isn't it? So Nathan attends and wrestles at Benjamin Logan High School. He does that as a sport. He's not just wrestling people in the hallways. But then halfway through his high school career, he transfers over to Marysville High School when he's a junior. And that's where we're going to leave Nathan right now. He's a high school student in the 90s. Let's go back to 1986. And now we're in Texas. A band forms in 1981 called Pantera, but they finalized their sound and lineup in 1986. And it's at this time that groove metal band Pantera has really what we're going to know as that band Pantera.
Right.
And
Cowboys from Hell.
I'm getting there. They finalized their lineup in Arlington, Texas. And I promise you, these two things do overlap. Pantera was made up of lead singer Phil Anselmo, the last member to join the band in 1986.
And a very unproblematic guy.
Yep, just a
Just
cool
cruising
man.
along.
Bassist Rex Brown and two brothers, one Dimebag Daryl Abbott. Dimebag is not his Christian name. But it is so ubiquitous in discussing this band that most times people will just call him Dimebag.
Right.
But Dimebag Daryl Abbott and his brother Vinny Paul Abbott. Dimebag Daryl plays guitar and Vinny is the drummer for this band. Pantera were nominated for 4 Grammys throughout their career and sold approximately 20 million albums globally. They're a remarkably influential and popular band. Through my research for this episode, I learned that Pantera started off as a glam rock band. It's really funny to think of them playing this kind of music because throughout the early 80s, the work that they're playing then does not at all resemble the work of their late 80s and 90s career. Yeah. Or, as I like to call it, the ladies. Late 80s.
Do you like Pantera?
We're getting to it.
Okay.
And in the 90s is when I really feel like they hit their stride. For example, anyone who's familiar with the band probably knows their song and album, as you just demonstrated, Cowboys from Hell.
Yeehaw!
The band calls this their debut record. It is the 5th Pantera record. So they had a whole sound and ethos and look before this. And the band had really evolved and gone through a lot over their almost 2 decades together by the mid-1990s. And tensions are escalating in the band. The band's singer, Phil Anselmo, was suffering from various health issues from touring and performing, such as back problems, which we literally just talked about in our last episode, System of a Down, because singer Serj Tankian also suffered from back problems. While Serj rectified this by limiting his touring and seeking chiropractors and getting medication for his pain, Phil Anselmo rectified this by taking a lot of heroin and nearly overdosing in 1996. Phil's drug use took a toll on the band, and the hostility between the members became so great that their last several albums were recorded without the band being in the same room as one another because they hated each other so much. Pantera happens to be one of the favorite bands of our old associate who we were talking about, Nathan Gale, who's wrestling in Ohio.
Ooh.
And he loved all kinds of heavy metal, and he listened to it as he studied construction and electrical work at the Ohio High Point Career Center, from which he graduated in 1998.
Construction workers love Pantera.
You heard it here first.
They love catcalling and Cowboys from Hell.
And eating lunch on precariously placed beams
Yes.
in the sky. Following his graduation, he worked several minimum wage jobs and started taking drugs habitually, much like Phil Anselmo. And he began to display paranoia, according to his mother, and he routinely stated that people were watching and following him. Gale became violent with his mother. After one particular altercation, she called the cops on him, and Nathan Gale was thrown out of their home. And during that time, he lived on the streets until his mother found him again and asked him to go to rehab. He agreed, and she said, if you go to rehab and stay clean, you can come back home. So he did go back home. He has a few more run-ins with the police after that. He was a skateboarder, and he was skating in places where he shouldn't have been. And the cops, the 5-0, Johnny Law.
Yeah, sounds like a bunch of cool guy got interrupted by some bacon. What?
The paddy wagon rolled up on him. The cherries and berries showed up, and they said, "You can't skate here, bud."
And they probably honked. They're probably like, as we all know, free cops. I'll be the first to say it. Frick cops.
Nathan Gale was also accused of stealing from one of his jobs, and he got in trouble with the law for sleeping on the street as well. Bopping back to Pantera. Pantera goes on hiatus in 2001. Also, speaking of bad things that happened in 2001, the September 11 attacks happened in New York City, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And the only reason I bring this thing up, which we bring up every single episode, is because Nathan Gale decides, I'm not going to sleep on the streets anymore. I'm not going to skateboard. I'm not going to do drugs. I'm going to defend my country. And I'm going to enlist in the United States Marine Corps, which he does.
Like
and
a lot of Americans at that time.
Yeah. And he is in the 2nd Marine Division at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina in 2002. He is enlisted for 4 years. He is discharged from the military in 2003, less than even halfway through his service. The U.S. Marine Corps has been asked to elaborate upon why he was discharged. They wouldn't. Gale told his mother and his employer at a mechanic shop after he was discharged that this happened because he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, for which he was allegedly prescribed medications, which he stopped taking immediately. In the wake of Pantera's dissolution, Damageplan forms down in Dallas, Texas. Their original name is actually Newfound Power, which sucks. That's a bad name. Yeah. So who is Damageplan? You got the Bruvs, you got the Abbott boys, right. You got Dimebag Darrell strumming his little guitar like a flower child, and you got Vinnie Paul playing drums. They get a fellow named Bobzilla of the band Hush Money to play bass when he found some time in between terrorizing the good people of Tokyo. And Bobzilla also did the tattoos for Vinnie and Darrell. And finally, they get the guitars for Judas Priest's Rob Halford's new band, imaginatively called Halford, to sing for them. This guy's name is Patrick Lockman, and Patrick Lockman, the guitarist of Halford, becomes the singer of Damageplan. Strange. After his time in the military, going back, Nathan Gale became an offensive lineman for the Lima Thunder, a semi-professional football team in Ohio. He was a big boy. He was like 6'3", 250 pounds, not unlike yourself.
Right.
Owen, not the listener. And his teammates remember that he would blast Pantera before games to hype himself up. Gale also told people around this time that he actually wrote a bunch of the lyrics for several Pantera songs and that the band stole them from him and that they were trying to steal his identity. Falls in line with the alleged paranoid schizophrenia diagnosis.
I would hate to hear Pantera in the locker room.
Well, it's a good thing you weren't on Nathan Gale's team.
I want to hear Hard Trap.
I want to hear Bruno Mars in the locker room. I'd catch a grenade for you, and I'd catch a ball for you, coach.
That's what all the greatest football players. I'd catch a ball for you, coach.
2004, Damageplan's first and last album, entitled Newfound Power. Again, it's a bad name as an album. It's a bad name as a band.
Newfound Glory.
Came out on February 10th, just in time for Valentine's Day.
Aww.
This is an album for romance. They recorded the album in Arlington, Texas, in the studio that Dimebag and Vinny have in their backyard, where several Pantera albums were recorded. It's 14 songs long, 61 minutes in length. It's a pretty long album.
Oh.
A lot of the lyrics seem to be about Pantera's breakup. The lead-off track, Wake Up! Brush your hair and put on a little makeup.
Right.
Sorry, last episode. Has cool guitar work, but the Vox are pretty new metal and butt rockish.
Yeah.
I think I would like this song and pretty much all of this album if they just didn't have a singer.
Yeah.
Biggest criticism I have of this band, has a singer.
Disclaimer, I'm an old man.
Take a look at my life.
Right. Metal isn't for me these days, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I used to listen to a little Megadeth. I don't hate metal though, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get the screaming, I'm not, you know.
You're an angry guy.
Yeah.
You're an angry
I do a
bird.
lot of scream, right. Do a lot of flinging myself at pigs and do a lot of screaming. I wrote, none of this is really catching me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would like this a lot more if I was like in a car blazing down a highway, but I'm listening to this sweating in my living room, watching old Adult Swim reruns to calm myself down after watching the Babadook.
Mm-hmm.
Newfound Power is kind of interesting.
Sure.
My Yummy Yummy would be F you.
This is also my Yummy Yummy.
It's kind of like a punk song.
I also think that this song, and this is a hot take, I think it follows the pattern of what in musical theater is known as a patter song. Let me play an example of that for you from The Music Man.
All week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. I say your young men will be frittering away their noontime, supper time, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket. Never mind getting dandelions pulled or the screen door patched or the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are caught with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the Knickerbocker, shirt-tail young ones, peeking in the pool hall window after school. You got trouble, folks, right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool.
But yeah, I like the rapid lyric delivery in it. I think if they did that more often, I'd be more compelled to like it instead of doing the just like gruff butt rock sort of delivery, you know?
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry, before we move on with this song entitled F You, but they actually write it.
Yeah.
And they say it. Corey Taylor, the lead singer of Slipknot, sings on this song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I also think that's probably what's my favorite song because it's mostly Corey Taylor.
Right. I mean, Dimebag's guitar solos are what kind of kept this interesting for me, at least.
For sure.
Because he obviously is a great guitarist, and I think
great guitarist.
brings a lot more experimentation to this, maybe, than if those weren't there, this would be pretty boring.
And I think he's like a music fan. There's songs like Save Me that I think has some sort of like Tom Morello kind of guitar playing on it. Like he clearly really loves other guitar players and will kind of emulate them and pay homage to them.
I really don't like the halftime stuff, like the breakdowns in some of these songs are so long, and it's like when I feel like I've heard this a million times, you know.
Yeah.
A Moment of Trust is my yuck icky.
Yeah.
It's the longest song on the album. It's like almost 7 minutes. I feel like I've heard it a bajillion times.
The vocals just kill it. For example, Pride, happy Pride, happy belated
happy
Pride to you.
Good for them.
Again, we're talking about the Babadook. We're
Right.
talking about Pride by Damageplan, where we are allies.
This is our Pride episode. Yeah.
It is in August.
Right.
I think it's a great song. The vocals kill it for me, and that's the refrain through all of this.
Yeah.
Blink of an eye, really great guitar work. I think Dimebag's doing the backing vocals on Reborn. I like those, and then Patrick comes in and he sings, and it just kills it for me.
90% of the time, I don't like that kind of singing on metal that's really shines on Pride, where it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? I'd much rather listen to screaming than something like that when it's really badly done, I feel.
Sure.
And so that really, it was kind of like new metal, which I'm not a fan of. So.
Yeah. We had mentioned that Corey Taylor is a guest on a song. You also have Zakk Wylde, who would play with the band live, but Zakk Wylde was the guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne. He also was a founder of Black Label Society. He is playing and singing on Reborn. My yuck icky song on this album was Soul Bleed. Mm-hmm. It's one of those metalheads doing an acoustic song, which I think is just a bad ripoff of Alice in Chains.
I love how on every metalhead does acoustic song, they're always just like a in the background, like
there's got to be wind.
There's got to be a lot of wind, distortion, phaser. It's great.
Mm-hmm. There's no Vinny playing on this. There's no drums, so it's just inherently bad. It's a lot of Patrick, a little Dimebag, and no Vinny, and I think it's terrible. But speaking of Alice in Chains, one of the founders of that band, and its guitarist, singer, and principal songwriter, Jerry Cantrell, does appear on this album, but unfortunately the song gets cut, and it's only available in the Japanese release. It's called Ashes to Ashes, but you can also hear it on the soundtrack for the film The Punisher.
Ashes.
Speaking of cops... I gave this album a 2.
Yeah, I'd probably give it like a 2.5.
Okay. Men.
Yeah. Just 1 point for FU and then a half point for the Dimebag Daryl solos. I'll probably give it a 3. 1 full point for Dimebag Daryl, RIP.
Yeah. This record, despite our bad review, debuts at number 38 on the Billboard 200.
It's usually what happens.
It's nuts. That's so high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the band was playing at Bogart's nightclub in Cincinnati, or should I say Cincinnati, Ohio.
You are bad.
So they're playing in Cincinnati on April 8th when a 25-year-old former Marine named Nathan Gale,
I think I've heard of this guy before,
jumped up on stage and broke about $2,000 worth of the band's equipment, mostly lighting equipment. He was removed from the stage by police as the band continued to play. Didn't even break the concentration. And the band drops all charges against Nathan Gale because they didn't want to have to come back to Cincinnati to go to court. Like, we're on tour.
That's
we'll just drop
Cincinnati
it.
for it, man.
Yep. Have you heard of Skyline Chili?
I have. I've never had it.
Do you know what it is? Can
No
you explain to
desire.
the listener?
It's like chili with like...
It's chili on top of spaghetti,
Right. I don't like chili.
on top of which is cinnamon and cloves.
That sounds... I've never had it, but have you? Have you?
No. I respect spaghetti too much.
Right.
In December of 2004, Phil Anselmo, the lead singer of Pantera,
Right.
was
Great
interviewed by Metal Hammer Magazine. Metal Hammer Magazine.
Right.
During which he said that Dimebag Darrell, quote, deserves to be severely beaten, end quote. Let's put a pin in December 8th, 2004. I was coming home from a student council meeting.
In what, middle school, probably?
Middle school. I was in 7th grade.
Well, you were the vice president or something?
No, I ran and did not win. for specifically vice president. It's funny that you literally
You just
picked
seem-
up on that.
You scream,
Beta.
yeah. Right.
Well, my brother, someone who I think you're somewhat acquainted with,
Right. Maybe.
he
My
had
father.
a guitar. It was a very pointy guitar.
It's a metal guitar.
It was green on the outskirts, and as you went closer to the center of the guitar, it became more yellow.
Yeah, I'd like to preface by saying my dad did not have his Confederate flag guitar
He
that
did
he was
not.
also famous for.
This is not a Confederate flag guitar. He had one of Dimebag Darrell's signature guitars, and it was a thing of beauty. And it was one of my brother's most prized possessions in all the world. And I think he left it at a friend's house, and it got stolen. And my brother loved this thing, and that's how I knew who Pantera was. That's how I knew who Damageplan was. That's how I knew who Dimebag Darrell was, because my cooler older brother loved this. And I was walking home from a student council meeting. It would have been December 9th, and one of my friends came up to me, and he said, "Did you hear what happened?" So let's talk about what happened on December 8th of 2004. Damageplan was out on tour. They're out there on the road promoting Newfound Power. And they are in the fair city of Columbus, Ohio. Arch City. Cowtown.
Right.
C-Bus. And they were playing at the Alrosa Villa nightclub. The Alrosa Villa nightclub could host about 600 people. On this particular evening, only about 400 tickets were sold. It was a Wednesday night.
Yeah, people got stuff to do, man. Probably
I had a student council meeting.
Yes.
There were two openers that night. You had Volume Dealer and 12 Gauge. And everyone's in the club. They're watching these bands. And the manager of the club goes outside, and he sees a guy kind of walking around, pacing around in the parking lot. And he goes up to the fellow and says, "Hey, aren't you going to come in and watch the show?" To which this man replies, quote, "I don't want to see no shitty local bands. I'm going to wait for Damageplan," end quote. And that's not nice.
That is a nice.
You got to support
local bands.
opening bands and local bands.
Mm-hmm.
As I've gotten older, I've definitely been going to shows later and later. Because I, too, don't want to see no shit local bands.
Right.
But I'm wrong. And I should be going to see those shitty local bands. This man finally fished his wish, and at around 10:15, Damageplan goes on stage, and they start playing. The man in the parking lot breaks into the venue, choosing to scale a 6-foot fence instead of just buying a ticket. And he enters the building from the north side, going through a patio door. And that man is Nathan Miles Gale, who we've been talking about through the entirety of this episode. And he walks onto the stage during the band's first song, wearing a Columbus Blue Jackets jersey, and he pulls out a Beretta 92 FS 9mm semi-automatic pistol, and he fires it at the guitarist, Dimebag Darrell, hitting him, depending on what account you are reading, 4 to 5 times, mostly in his face, and at least once in his right hand. Much of the audience thought this was a part of the show. Nathan Gale begins to open fire on other folks on stage and in the audience. All told, he injures 3 and kills 3 others. I think it is worth detailing what exactly happens here. The band's security chief, Jeffrey, quote, Mayhem Thompson, tackles Gale. And while he is on top of him, Gale discharges his firearm and shoots and kills the security chief in the struggle. He was 40 years old when he died. A fan named Nathan Bray storms the stage to perform CPR on Dimebag Darrell and Thompson, and he is shot and killed. He does not die immediately. He is transported to the Riverside Methodist Hospital later that night, and he dies just before midnight. He was 23 years old. And finally, Aaron, quote, Stoney Hawk, Halk. He is also a former Marine, and he is an employee at the Alrosa Villa nightclub. And he attempts to put an end to the violence by storming Nathan Gale while he is reloading his weapon. And he is shot 6 times and dies at the age of 29. Volume Dealer, one of the openers, their roadie, a fellow named Travis Burnett, also storms the stage and tries to get Gale's gun from him. And he is shot but survives. Damageplan's drum technician, John, quote, Cat. All of these guys have nicknames, but John Cat Brooks also tries to intervene, and he gets shot twice in the leg before he is taken hostage. He does survive because 3 minutes after dispatchers receive a 911 call from the venue, Columbus Police Department officer James Niggemeyer comes into the venue through the backstage door with a 12-gauge Remington Model 870 shotgun. He discharges 1 shot, and he successfully shoots Gale right in the face once. Gale dies immediately. All told, Nathan Gale discharged 15 rounds in the nightclub. He had another 30 on his person at the time of death. The Franklin County Coroner's Office did an autopsy on his body, and there were no drugs of any kind, prescription or otherwise, found in his body at time of death. After the events of December 8th, other friends and acquaintances of Nathan Gale had come forward to describe his disturbing behavior, which became more erratic and chaotic over time. This included blaming Dimebag Darrell for the dissolution of Pantera, but he began making more intense and disturbing claims, such as that God commanded Nathan to murder Marilyn Manson. Gale was also rumored to often talk to himself and pantomime holding and petting an imaginary dog. Gale was living alone in an apartment above an abandoned store at the time of his death. When police investigated his home, they found handwritten notes in his apartment with quotations such as, and a lot of these I'm quoting verbatim, so a lot of them don't necessarily make sense, but, quote, "You'll see come alive. I'll take your life and make it mine. This is my life. I'm gone. Get me." As well as, quote, "You'll see the sky fall. I'll make pigs fly. Come on and give me some. Come on, give me some. Do it and die. Do it and die." End quote. It should be noted that John Lennon was assassinated on this very day 24 years prior. Although many people find that to just be a coincidence. Yeah. There's no evidence pointing to any sort of influence from Mark David Chapman, the assassin of John Lennon, but it is interesting. It's also the day after the anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. There are conflicting views behind Gale's motivation. Why did this guy do this? Why did he commit such a vile attack? But Vinnie Paul Abbott, Dimebag's brother and bandmate, believes that he knows exactly why this happened. And again, this is the belief of Vinnie Paul Abbott. Investigators and police did not find any evidence of this. But Vinnie directly blames Phil Anselmo, and his statements about Dimebag Darrell deserving to be severely beaten, he says that's why this happened. And he really investigates this himself. He actually gets the tapes from the interview with Metal Hammer magazine because Phil Anselmo came forth after the murders and said that it was a joke. He didn't actually mean that anyone should beat up Dimebag Darrell. He didn't wish him any harm. It was just a joke. Well, Vinnie Paul got the tapes from Metal Hammer magazine, and he said, this is absolutely not a joke. He was absolutely serious of this when he said this. And he calls Phil Anselmo, quote, a master of lies, end quote. Vinnie Paul declared he would never work with Phil Anselmo ever again or speak to him, and he didn't. In 2005, the following year, Officer James Niggemeyer was brought before a grand jury for a routine investigation following the use of deadly force in the police force. This is a practice that I think is very good. I think it's something that can and should be done in police departments all across the country. Anytime there is violent or deadly force used, there should be a grand jury inquiry. Officer James Niggemeyer was cleared of any wrongdoing on May 23rd. He was not suspected of it. It's just any time in this particular police department that there's violent and lethal force used, they do an investigation to make sure that everyone did what they were supposed to. Okay. So he's cleared of all wrongdoing, and he promptly receives a variety of awards for his action, including the NRA's Law Enforcement Officer of the Year. Nathan Gale's mom calls Officer Niggemeyer a hero. She goes on to say, quote, I give that man credit. You'll never know how many lives he saved. This particular officer was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and severe anxiety disorder. He asked to be transferred to a different department within the Columbus Police Department, and he becomes an investigator of robbery. And he actually leaves the force in 2011. A couple years after this tragedy, Vinnie Paul and Bob Zilla form a new band, simply called Hell Yeah, one word. They made 5 albums together, which I think is interesting because people don't really talk about that band. Patrick Lockman, the lead singer of Damageplan, starts a new band called The Mercy Clinic, which made 2 albums. And in 2018, I didn't know this, Vinnie Paul Abbott passes away, suffering from heart disease. He never worked with the members of Pantera again. In 2021, the El Rosa Villa nightclub was listed for sale, and then it was demolished by the city of Columbus to build a housing project. In 2023, Phil Anselmo and Rex Brown, the original singer and bassist respectively of Pantera, replaced Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul with guitarist Zakk Wylde and drummer Charlie Benante, respectively, for a world tour which is still going on at present and is projected to continue into next year in 2026.
Aren't they opening for Metallica?
They are opening for Metallica, yes. In many of these stops. They've also done headlining shows in Mexico City and other places.
What a sick freaking lineup for all the metalheads out there. You get to see Metallica, and then you can see Pantera.
But in opposite order. They'd see Pantera first and then Metallica. Prior to his death, Vinnie Paul claimed in several interviews that there was quite a bit of material recorded already for a second Damageplan record and that he wanted fans to hear it. And he said that it would likely be released within 10 years. That would have come out in 2016 if that were the case. It is currently July 19th, 2025, and that has not happened yet. And that, as of now, is the story of Damageplan. We should ask those nostalgia kids what they think about Damageplan and Pantera tonight.
Yeah.
Katie, Tyler, have you ever heard of the band Pantera or Damageplan?
Yes, Pantera, yes.
You like them?
Do I like them? I like, you know what, I know Pantera from their SpongeBob appearance.
That's all I needed. Thank you. Have a pleasant and professional month.
Triple D. Let's ride.